Hello everyone, my name is Shreya and I am a legal intern at Lexis and Company. I am glad to have this opportunity of interning at Lexis and Company, because of which I am able to present to you guys with this video. I am pursuing BL LB honors from Law College Dehradun Uttaranchal University and I am currently in 7th semester. So the purpose and topic for today's video will be the principle of natural justice. I'll be explaining the principle of natural justice. First of all, I'll give you an introduction, then I'll describe the various components of natural justice, that is under the heading of Audi Alteram Partem, and the second will be the rule against bias. And I'll also further explain these headings under various subheadings, that is the essentials of Audi Alteram Partem and the essentials of the rule against bias. I'll also explain you with the case laws. So let's begin. So what are these principles of natural justice? These principles of natural justice are those principles which are fundamental to the administrative law and the other laws also. So however, there is no precise and scientific definition for the principles of natural justice, but these these principal justice are applied in the common law. They are also known as the common sense justice. So the principle of natural justice are derived from the Latin expression jus naturale or lex naturale, which means a system based on fundamental ideas of right and wrong, just and unjust. So it has been derived from Roman law, and however these principles may not be the part of the statute, but they are necessary to be followed keeping in mind the objective of the securing justice to all. The principle of natural justice are necessary. So what are the components of natural justice? The first component is Audi Alteram Partem. Audi Alteram Partem means that both the sides should be heard, and neither the party should be condemned unheard, that is, the opportunity of hearing should be given to both the parties. There cannot be any judgment passed when there is no hearing opportunity given to the either party. Both should be given proper opportunity of hearing. So this principle is implemented by all courts and tribunals, national tribunals also, and also at international level. So what are the components of Audi Alteram Partem? The first component here is the notice. That is, according to this principle, before taking any action against a particular party, it is necessary to give a notice to show cause against the proposed action and seek the party's explanation. You have to necessarily give the notice to the party, giving them a warning or a notification that these charges have been put up against you and this is the case against you. So we are giving you a warning pre-hand. You should prepare for the same. Notice is to be given before a case against the either party. So it is a prerequisite of the right of fair hearing. The order which is passed without giving the notice are against the principles of natural justice and are void ab initio. So there was this case of Baggs, which we call as the Baggs case, 1615. Here what happened, James Baggs, he was a cheeseburgers of Plymouth. He had been disenfranchised for unbecoming conduct. He was the employer of cheeseburgers of Plymouth, and he was disenfranchised for the unbecoming conduct, in as much as that he was alleged that he had told the mayor, "You are a cozening knave and I will thy neck crack. I will make your neck crack. And by turning the hinder part of his body in an inhuman and uncivil manner towards the mayor, he had also said, "Come and kiss." So it was reinstated by Mandamus that because no notice was given to him, therefore there are no allegations to be held against him as valid. So therefore again it is very important to send the notice before any case is to be put up against the either party. Next component of audialdrum partum is hearing. That is, the opportunity of hearing should be given to both the parties before any adverse step is taken against them. So in the case of Cooper, the Cooper case of 1863, there was a defendant board which had the power to demolish any building without giving any prior opportunity of hearing if the building was erected without any prior notice or without any prior consent. So when there was this build, so the board had demolished the house of the plaintiff under this provision, and there was, so when the case started, the court said that the plaintiff cannot be held liable for his activity because there was no such opportunity of hearing being given to the plaintiff. However, although it was the power of the board to demolish the building because it was constructed on invalid grounds, the court demolished, also struck down the power of the board and said that opportunity of hearing is to be given in all conditions, no matter what the case is. So the next component here is the disclosure of materials. That is, it is necessary that the adjudicating authority must disclose all the evidence and materials placed before it during the course of the proceedings, and an opportunity must be given to the person against whom the said materials and evidence are to be utilized. You have to show the evidence you have collected in your case to the other party against that party which those materials are to be utilized. You have to tell the other party. So there was this case of Dhakeshwari Cotton Mills Limited versus the CIT 1935. Here the Supreme Court had set aside the order passed by the appellate tribunal on the grounds that it did not disclose some evidence produced by the department and had used against the other party. So the judgment was set aside in this Dhakeshwari Cotton Mills Limited versus CIT. So the fourth component of audialdrum partum is cross examination. So here we can say that it depends upon the facts and circumstances of each case, that if the statute permits the cross examination of witnesses, then the opposite party can claim the right to cross examination. It depends from case to case, but if the right to cross examination is there, the party can freely avail for it. So the fifth component here is the one who decides must hear. That is, it is a principle of natural justice that he who hears should decide, or he who decides must hear. That is the one that is the judge who have heard the case, only he will decide the case, or vice versa, who have decided the case, he must have heard the case also. So the sixth component here is empty formality theory, which says that an action is liable to be set aside if the principle of natural justice are not followed, and if an argument is raised that even if notice would have been issued or hearing afforded, so it would have made no defense or no useful purpose would have been served, or it would have been an empty formality. As a general rule, no such plea is permissible. So this was empty formality theory. You should not do just an a formality without any meaning. So the next here is the oral or the personal hearing. In this uh, point, there was this important case of A.K. Gopalan versus State of Madras 1950, where the oral hearing was not regarded as sine qua non of natural justice. That is important part of natural justice. That is, we can say that a person is not entitled to an oral hearing unless such a right is conferred by a statute. So these were the points regarding the Audi Ultram Partem. I'll discuss the rule against bias in my next video. I hope you guys have liked this video and understood this video. If you have any question, do ask me and also share the feedback. And do not forget to like and share this video as much as you can. Thank you everyone for watching.